Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. I'm Colonel RPG, as usual, and I'm very happy that it chose to join me today because I know how to pronounce penis now. It's penis. Why wouldn't you pronounce it penis? Because it uses two E's and a U. Yeah, we were inspecting genitalia last episode, and it's this whole thing. We were also holding. He didn't say anything. That's good. We were also holding hands with the dead man over here. Not at the same time as the genitalia inspection, though. And I didn't know how to pronounce penis, and now I know. I probably should have realized that, because it's an E, so P, and then for the I, which is like dirt, and bit. No, bit is a little bit different than the E. Anyway, the point is, we solved that mystery. Aren't we good? That's good. It's good. It's good mystery. So, Kim, on the other hand, he has been solving many mysteries, but he's barely been keeping it together. He's been rolling his dice, and he's doing it. He's doing the checks, but he's down to 40% now, and that's not gonna help. The smell, not the smoke, fumes. But yeah, I'm gonna write down. What am I gonna write down? That there are no injuries from struggling. And let's see what happens here. Woo! Kim turns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face in the sleeve of his jacket. You hear a muffled voice. That's all for I suppose that's his voice. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Well, I could leave. We got an autosave, which is important because we have been here for like 3 episodes now. Kim, are you feeling good?
Yes?
Think you're feeling good. We have so many things. I'm gonna need I'm gonna need interfacing is what I mean, because we're gonna be doing internal things. And my current, like, what is that? That's endurance, electrochemistry, visual calculus for our glasses. What's that one over there? Logic. Yeah, logic is good enough. Let's keep it. Got a physical instrument shirt, I would think. That's for logic shirt. Conceptualization. Half light. Are we running on maximum interfacing? That's interesting. Also, we got the dried maybells. Oh no. Oh, they're so lovely. I didn't know. Are they not this? Are they 2 words? Like a dandelion? It's not a dandelion. It's a dandelion. Is it maybells? Is that how it is? Anyway, this is the wildflower we caught. One of a bouquet of muguets that you found. Could be pronounced it any other way. That you found on the whirling roof. It's shedding its petals quickly in your pocket. I mean, we're been examining a corpse, so let's smell the nice things. 6 crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown. What is this, Kim? Am I giving him the flowers? And it's just be like, Kim, investigate this. Like, you know what I'm talking about? It's like I'm giving him it's the same. That's a lovely. Wouldn't that be lovely? Anyway, this is the. It's just a matter-of-fact statement. This is the Insulindian lily. The lieutenant corrects his glasses. Called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle. Huh. That's interesting. I wonder if Klaj, was that her name? Klaj? I remember there was 2 A's, and then at the end the SGAE is just J. I think. I wonder if she's a soldier. But then that's specifically girls used to pin these on soldiers. So that hints that the army, at least back then, was mostly men. At least, mostly. Well, I suppose. Maybe not. It could be also women, and just I don't know. Anyway, who pinned them? Which side? The revolutionaries. So the communards and the anarchists. White's their color. But the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the king's men too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending boys off who are going to their deaths. then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War. So this is, I would think, it's very hard for me to actually like, you know, put one and one together in the setting. So all I can, like, well, it's not all I can, but the best I can do right now is just try to draw parallels with the real life historical events. So I'm thinking the Civil War is like the whites, specifically with the white. This is probably the White Revolution, similar to the White Revolution. In Communards, what does the game uses specifically communist? It uses that term specifically. Somewhere I don't. Yeah. What is it, a mistranslation, or is it just a? I don't know what that means, because I thought it was like an insult or something, but I think it is the proper term. I don't know what it's like. It's like a mixture of two words. I don't know what those would be. And then the anarchists. So that sounds like, well, the White Revolution, they were both united. Well, anarchism wasn't. Nah, I'm actually not sure. Let me know in the comments if you know if anarchism was a big factor in the White Revolution in Soviet Russia, in the 1917 or something. Anyway, the beginning of the 20th century. The point is, those are probably what they are. And anytime the Civil War is mentioned, that's the Civil War that put Ravachol under a communist regime. Is that how it worked? Because I thought the revolution. What happened to the communist regime for Ravachol now to be under the moralists? I wonder. Huh. Does this flower blossom in early spring? Yes, but not this early. Not to my knowledge, says Kim. He observes the petals. It looks dried, preserved. Yep. And it flew away. What? It was gonna fly away. Is it a coincidence, it being on the roof? Maybe, says Kim. Maybe not. He makes a note in his little notebook. We'll see. Interesting that we didn't actually, we could have had this conversation up in the roof. And I think that might have happened because it's possible to get the flowers even if Klaja is not there. Anyway, the petals feel dry and fragile in her hands. Ask the Petanque player about Maybelle's. Yes! Maybe. Petanque, why would they know that? Our reaction speed knows something, though. That's why. Wait, have you noticed there's a war veteran playing a ball game on the plaza? You should ask him about the flowers. That's why he would know. We're very good at noticing all this stuff. Fantastic. Okay. Let's continue with the examination. That didn't exist before. The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. Bits of cargo belt, excuse the hiccup, lie on the ground around him. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. I actually don't know what supine is. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It doesn't sound like I'm pronouncing it correctly. No, maybe. It's like super. But that's probably not where the word comes from. Anyway, let's move on to number 2. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. Internal examination. Summary. Central nervous system, he says, and then concludes abruptly. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system? No, unfortunately. You don't even have a joke. Our conceptualization was going to step in. Nope, I'm going to say, and I'm going to write not available or something. Musculoskeletal... Musculoskeletal? Musco? That's not how it is. Maybe it is. Musculoskeletal purge fluid is coming from the mouth. He gets close to... Kim gets close to the swollen mouth hole, eyes squinting from the fumes. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone, let's see. With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. Yeah, jack that fucker off, says Kunese. The hyoid bone is fractured, he says after a while. And you probably know exactly what that means, by the way. Because it means he died by hanging. That's what it means. Because that's how... Anyway, I'm referring to real life events. Here. He says after, although I didn't know that before the real life events happened. Or rather, didn't happen because he didn't kill himself. Anyway, the rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact, unremarkable, says Kim. I'm gonna write down that back hunched as if in prayer, he begins to pry the dead man's jaws open. He says, respiratory system, and stops to exert some more force. Both hands are used. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in mucose of the lips and mouth. Probably from being punched in the face. Our Inland Empire did a success here. From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart. Hyoid ripped from the force of the lieutenant's hands. Yeah, but that's what happened after. Don't thank you, Inland Empire, for telling me about that. That's a visual. I'm gonna look inside the dead man's mouth. No scream. No. No sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly, sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his. I probably shouldn't look deeper. Let Kim do it. I'm gonna write it down. He wipes his brow. Hematobiliary, not available. Or NA. Not hemato. Hepatobiliary. What the heck is that? Why? Don't we have anything? He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? I don't think so, I'm gonna say. Neither am I. What is it? That's it. No, not what is it. I did want to ask what the heck hepatobiliary is, but no, that's not what I asked. I asked what, and that's it, I asked. And Kim says that's it, matter-of-factly. And I write down, not available. NA. Same for toxicology and serotology. Both not A? Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there. Well, the completionist in me wonders if there's something we could still do. I'm not sure if that's a reference to this being a video game, though. Kim says, like a toxicology screening? He looks at the monster. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request. Yep. NA, then add toxicology requested. Also, this could connect to the drugs that we found in Klaji's room, or bathroom anyway. Kim says, cardiovascular, the body exhibits lividity in the lower extremities, feet, hands, and neck. Visually consistent with a hanging. Write it down. Gastrointestinal. Kim breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list, he says. He looks... No, he doesn't say that. I just know that it is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, the pool of feces there. This will do, says our logic. He, Then he touches the Kim touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly and says, digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. I don't actually know what you mean, voila. That's not... Are you showing me the thing, or are you just not... I'm gonna write down and keep the voila in. What's next on the list? He asks. The description of injuries summary? Let's see, he tilts his head. We have bite marks, contusions on head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. We'll need 3 fields, leave a 4th one too. Reaction speed says, be thorough if you want maximum results. I suppose I should. What's the 4th field injury, or 4th injury field for? Nothing, just in case. Yeah, I suppose. I'm not really sure how you can leave them open though, because like it's not like I'm gonna. No, I could do that thing where like you write things down and then you do the zek, which you probably should do if it's like this a serious form. So you close it. That's probably what he's referring to, or that's probably what he would be referring to. I'm not sure if it is the case if the writers were thinking in those terms. Yeah, bite marks. Let's start with those. Kim nods. Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. An odontologist does not need to be consulted. Okay. And your opinion, officer? Kim asks. Beneath the description, there are 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. Opinion, fatal injury. Yeah, bite marks from birds. I mean, I suppose it makes sense. It's like the birds bite. It's not. You think bite marks and you think teeth, right? But that's not necessarily the case because, like, you know. Anyway, non-fatal postmortem. Agreed. Next injury, contusions. So the scalp bleeds from a postmortem head injury, says Kim. A stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. A predator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem. I think Kuno is going to say predator, all right. At maximum velocity, fucko, says Kuno. Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity, says Kim. The lieutenant's admission has caused great gratitude in Kuno. He's silent with it. Kuno is silent with his gratitude, I suppose. I'm going to write it down. Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description of injury, 2 boxes. Now, injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. But that's not what you should be looking for. I'm not the biggest procedural crime drama show watcher, so I don't know all the things, but I have seen hours of stuff like CSI and Bones, and that's about it. Actually, I've watched others, but not anything like that deals with dead bodies a lot. The body doesn't bleed after death because the bleeding is caused because of blood flow. So while there may be residual bleeding, you would know if they're like, the scalp isn't bleeding right now is what I mean. You could see blood, but it's not, it's congealed because it's below freezing. It's all congealed and it's all sticky and bad. But like if you saw bleeding from early, that could be the cause of death. But I don't think that's what the game is doing here. Specifically because the game says it doesn't have the rim of early inflammatory response, which is the rim here. I'm not even sure if it would be a rim, because that's just the swelling. So it'd be a swelling where it got hit, because that's what the inflammatory response is, as we have learned when we were 6 or something. I don't remember how this works. I'm not really sure why it does that, or if it does that even. But I think basically if you get an injury, you always get... No, it's only if you get inflammation. You can get an injury, but if there's no inflammation, it won't swell. Is that how it works? But not with the bones. Bones have a different thing happen to them. And that's why you get the... I don't know what they are called. I don't see them very often. If you have a kid, you know what they are. The bumps. It's called bumps in English, isn't it? You get bumps in your head, but they're not permanent bumps, although they can be permanent if they're bad enough. I should know that. But yeah, you get bumps in your head if you hit your head hard enough, your bone hard enough. And that is also an inflammatory response, but it's not, like, it's the same response, but it's not inflammatory is what I mean. I'm not really sure how that works. Anyway, the point is non-fatal. Post-mortem. Right, next, says Kim. If Kim says right, then it is right. Kim knows all the things. A ligature mark. Finish the autopsy. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. I'm not actually sure what any of that is. Nape and a gap? Huh. The hyoid bone is fractured and the cervical column intact. The hyoid bone, I'm not sure what it is. I do know that it is the cause of death for the vast majority of hangings. But wait a minute, didn't they say that they hanged him slowly? They didn't hang him slowly. I don't know if I should believe... Yeah, they didn't hang him slowly. Huh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it. As far as I know, and this is what I was going to say, the hyoid bone is the thing that breaks when you get hanged. Because of that breakage, the blood flow to the brain stops, and you suffocate of your brain. You pass out. And that's how hanging works for the vast majority of cases. Hanging can also be used as for suffocation through just normal strangulation, and that does happen. It's very rare. It's like 7% of the cases or something like that. But this is modern times. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. The percentage doesn't matter, because if you do it on purpose, you do it on purpose. But in this case, it wasn't. But the thing is, they left him, because it breaks because you just get the jolt, and it just breaks your. It doesn't break your neck, but it's in your neck, so it effectively breaks parts of your neck. So they said that they hanged him slowly, which is just throwing me off. Maybe the developers weren't thinking about that, or they didn't cross-check, or I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure I'm not. Anyway. Kim says, I see hemorrhaging on the skin above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck. Which would be consistent with him being tied. Aren't his hands tied? No, they weren't. I don't know. I don't think you pass out immediately. You can claw on your neck. You can, like, after hanging, you can do that. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's write it down. Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side, awaiting your judgment. The ring is around his neck. Or the ring around his neck is visible. Reaction speed. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush. Well, fatal injury. He has bleeding around his neck. And the hyoid bone would have killed him anyway. Or breakage. That's it, Kim says, and cracks an uneasy smile. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and he leaves much to be questioned, but it's a start. Yeah, at the end of the second day. Leveled up again. Task complete. Perform field autopsy. He produces a small, Kim produces a small plastic roll from his jacket, a body bag. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. First, how did it go? I ask. And Kim says, well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We also requested a toxicological screening that was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we're lucky. I would not hold my breath. I mean, you should probably hold your breath because of the stench. What else? We were thorough with the list of injuries, too. We described them all in detail. What's there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy. Okay, what now? I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Fallberg. I'm gonna rip a copy out of the autopsy pages. Or a copy of the autopsy pages out. For processing, says Kim. He looks at the dead man one more time, and then at the slip of red paper in his hand, and then at the corpse again. He's thinking, did I miss something? He's thinking that, not I missed something. You tilt your head and also looking at the corpse. My perception is bad. I could increase it. We established probable cause, so that lowers our perception. I am gonna increase our perception. Oh, give me another one. What? Perception is a legendary check for 14. Where's our perception? There it is. Ooh, I have a lot of points. Oh. Oh, that's not... Oh, we probably only have 2 then. That's not the points that I have available. That's the points that I have available. Okay. Bring our perception up. 17%. Okay. We can do this. It's only a 1/6 of a chance. If you're wondering, that's 16.777. That's the chance that we have over there, and I'm adjusting the microphone, so that might be what you were hearing if you heard anything. I don't think you do, because this microphone is amazing. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. It's just a click. It's simple. And it's a clock random. So it might actually, I don't know what the randomness, how the randomness in this game is calculated. It could be seeded. They probably should seed it. It's probably the easiest one. A clock random is an easy one to do. Yeah. So. Such a bad roll. Such a bad roll. Jesus. If we were the opposite, we would have made it, I think. No, if we were the opposite, no, what did we need there? Did we need at least a 6? I think that's what we needed. No, it was more. I think we would have made it if we were the opposite. It was a legendary check, though. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. Let's look under his fingernails like Kim already did. His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long. There is dirt under them, that's all. Did we miss something? Do you think we missed something? Asks Kim. You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you. Yeah, I've got a gut feeling that there's more to this corpse. Okay, well, says Kim. We're in livor mortis here. His disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we want to do it fast. Okay, where do we find a fridge for the body? Kim says, it would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gartre at the Whirling in Rags and the Frit store down at the gates. If they don't know, his voice trails off and his gaze settles on Kuno. But only if all else fails, he says. Fuck are you looking at, man? Ping pong man. Again, that does specifically, so it's not the same slur as before. This one I've never heard, but it also specifically mentioned, it's probably a reference to the fact that, Asian ping pong players are really good, historically anyway. But again, not in this world. You want a piece of the Kuno? Wanna get fucked? Kuno says. Only if all else fails, he stresses, yes. Kuno looks like he gets around. Knows Martinez, says our logic. And it's fridges too, probably. Yeah, let's hurry then. Kim says. He gets up. This is the one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we're looking for will become harder to find. Well, let's not sideline it then. We have other things to do. We have many important things to do, but not in this episode because we're out of time for the day. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.